the concept of good, right? Like, why did he start off, you know, from there was light to good? You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to establish that real quick in the beginning. So you don't get it confused, right? Like, getting my tea, guys, getting my tea. How's everyone morning going? Oh, it's already afternoon. My morning's late. Do I need a spoon for tea? Because this thing's not going down. It just kind of stays floating. Give me a second. Oh, I have a spoon right here. So today's tea, I'm having this moringa tea. I mean, I'm not endorsing it or anything like that. No paid, no paid sponsorship. It's just that's what I'm having. So I did Sunday school on here yesterday. Um, I felt good about it, right? Um, and I realized we have a whole Old Testament to go through. So I think I'm just gonna do everyday Sunday school. Technically, I'm not gonna go verse for verse. I think what I'm gonna do, and if something needs more time, we'll talk about it more. Genesis chapter 1, verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herbs, yielding seeds, and the fruit tree yielding fruit, and after his kind, those seeds is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Okay, he had land, and then he added grass, to which starts yielding seed, and then fruit trees yielding fruits of his kind. So I guess he created like plants, right? Plants, but then he separated the plants to its kind, and those seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. Verse 9, 10, 11. He added land to the water, right? Okay, so he separated the land, right? And he called the water seas, and then, the land. And then he put grass on the land, and then it yielded seeds, right? Um, I guess he called grass herbs, yielding seeds, and then he put upon fruit trees, and then yielding fruits after its kind, and then those seeds is in itself upon. Okay, so he created plants, and each plant had their own seed, and it yields upon itself, right? So he's talking about reproduction, right? So he's introducing reproduction right here, and obviously, you know, it takes after its own kind, right? It needs seeds, because everything that has life has to yield seeds. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass and herbs yielding seed after his kind, and tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. So essentially everything God did, he saw that it was good. Right? So maybe introducing the nature of good. So the nature of good is having things reproduce itself, and saw that it was good. You guys want to dig into that a little bit? Um, I mean, just speculatively, I would say, just you know, um, before before we come to any conclusion about, what yielding fruits mean, could be like analogy or something like that, right? And then God saw that it was good, right? So you believe in God. Anything that has to do with reproducing should be good, right? Seeds after its kind yield fruits. It was good in the sight of God, right? And then in verse 13, he says, "And the evening and the morning was the third day." Back to the concept of time that we was talking about, right? So on the very first Sunday school, which was yesterday that I had, right? So this is the second day of Sunday school. We introduced time as being starting from the AM, which is the evening, right? He says right there, and the evening and the morning were the third day, right? He said that on the first 2 days, the first day and the second day. He said the exact same thing, right? And now he said on the third day the exact same thing. On the evening, which is nighttime, right? And he goes back to morning. If you look at the 1 period day, morning is midnight, right? There's a full circle. That's one day's period, right? And at this time we call it the third day, which makes sense. Evening starts off at night, comes back to the morning, right? One full day is 24 hours period of a full uh, come back around to the spot where we first started with time, right? Eternal. See, eternal, right? Um, which I think that this could be a theme here. So in the evening and the morning were the third day. So we have a load here that that we have, but I mean it's kind of very direct though. Like there's no it, it's not hidden or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's not like we have to dissect anything. It's basically saying that um, God made land appear, and then He separated the land from the water, right? And He called the water seas, okay? And then He added grass to the land, which yields seeds, you know, and He added fruits, trees, which yielded fruits after His kind from seeds, whose seeds is in itself. So within the fruit there's seeds, and then it yielded itself after His kind. He put all that upon the earth, and it was so. And then He declared all of that it was good. So kind of introducing the whole concept of, hey, look, you know, anything that bears fruit in itself, from um, kind of in the image of itself, is good, right? Actually, well, introduce two concepts, which is reproduction and the concept of good. And then He affirmed the time concept on the third day, right? So the third day, um, time is a full circle, um, from the night to the morning, which comes back to to midnight, anyways. Which is you start your morning off at midnight, right? And then and then you start your full day from the evening, right, at midnight till you get back to the morning. Um, I don't know why I have to reiterate that so much. I feel like that's important somewhere. Um, Man, that's the whole thing in itself. I don't know if I want to keep going. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean? I don't want to go too far. Um, yeah, that's the third day, guys. That's the third day. But what do you guys think about all this? You know what I mean? Like, it kind. That's why religion's so serious, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, people can't deny it, and so they have to fight over it. You know the part about the trees, right? So if trees yielded fruits, and then the fruit yielding seeds, it's kind of like, what uh, like integration is, right? Integration in calculus, right? So integration is, when you talk about calculus, is to figure out the surface area of to figure out the area measurement of a surface, right? So surface area calculation, and then when you integrate, right? You're when like you start off with like a two-dimensional plane. Integration is so integration is you add exponentials to it, right? So that means that it's you know you go from a flat surface to a curve, right? Then curve, every time you add a degree to it, it becomes like dimensional, right? So it becomes multi-dimensional surface areas, right? So when you do differentials, right, which is the opposite of integration, you go backwards. You go from a higher degree of dimensions back to the plane, two dimensional, one dimensional, right, to a constant. So in the same context, when you, I mean, obviously, uh, you know, I mean, this is maybe a little bit too deep, but he added that to the equation, right? So like, you have grass, then you have trees, then you have fruits, right? Then you have to go backwards, right? So how does reproduction work, right? You have to put seeds in the fruit, and then it yields itself. You know what I mean? So it's not like, it's not as simple. It's very complicated still. You know what I mean? So the concept of life is, this complex thing where it takes multiple elements to make it work. You know what I mean? Integration, integrals, right? Um, and the basic form was a seed, right? But even the seed has to go into the land, and the land was at first water, right? So so it's built upon of complex elements. It gets more complex, right? And to the most basic one, which is the void, right? So in the beginning, it was very basic. Literally, there was nothing, right? And when God created everything, He added upon the very basic to more complex, right? To more complex, right? But apparently, He did everything all in 7 days. fast forward, fast forward to the week, and then He rested on the 7th day. But I mean, we're not there yet. We'll see.